Hello and good day, guys. It's been far too long, but I've heard your requests for more gaming videos, so today we're looking at some new homebrew games for the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis / Mega Drive. Links will be in the description if any of these titles catch your interest. Stick around and we'll dive in after the break. Tanzer is the first game on our list today. Developed for the Sega Genesis and published by Megacat Studios, it's the result of a successful Kickstarter campaign. You play as an alien creature who aims to save the world via hack-and-slash action across 8 levels. Inspired by classics like Strider, the gameplay is simple to grasp but difficult to master. The graphics are bright and vibrant with lots of action going on at once. The soundtrack is catchy and frantic, encouraging you to press forward and take down your foes. Collecting gold allows you to purchase transmutational abilities to add to your arsenal and aid you on your journey. While I've only recently started playing Tanzer, I've totally enjoyed the experience so far and encourage you to give it a try. A physical copy can be had for $39.99, and I believe it would make a great addition to anyone's retro collection. Zeno Crysis is another game developed for the Sega Genesis, but has also been released on Steam. In this top-down arena-style shooter, you and a friend can rescue survivors and take down a deadly alien menace, searching room by room and collecting weapon upgrades and items as you progress. The gameplay is reminiscent of 90s arcade offerings like Smash TV, with a pulse-pounding soundtrack and gritty ambient graphics that drive you through the 7 diverse worlds this game has to offer. There's 10 different weapons to collect, each with their own unique advantages, and an upgrade system that encourages you to strategize to suit your playstyle. The bosses are larger than life and designed to intimidate, and the enemies are diverse enough to keep the experience fresh. If some old-school couch co-op is what you're looking for, you'll find a great time with Zeno Crysis. Ultra Core isn't technically a new game, but it was cancelled just before completion by publisher Psygnosis in 1994. Originally slated for the Commodore Amiga, Ultra Core was picked up by Strictly Limited Games and released in 2019 for the Sega Genesis. If you've ever played such Commodore classics like Turrican, then you'll feel right at home with this Euro-style run-and-gun with great music and detailed graphics with fluent animations. The Evil Vance has released an onslaught of machines, and you must explore through varying bases and outposts to piece the story together, collecting weapons and upgrades while trying to stay alive. The gameplay is simple, but there's some challenging battles and platforming waiting for you if you're tough enough to suit up. Versions of Ultra Core are planned to be released on Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox as well. Check out what you've been missing out on for over 20 years. Nightmarebusters is our first pick for the Super Nintendo. Originally planned for a 1995 release, this game was cancelled due to financial reasons, but was ultimately released at the end of 2013 by Super Fighter Team. Featuring 2-player cooperative play, this run-and-gun platformer has 2 leprechaun brothers trying to stop the miserable tyrant from invading the dreams of children. The graphics are sharp with large and detailed sprites, and the soundtrack complements the game's ambience. You can utilize a basic attack as well as a dash ability or special attack, and pick up weapon upgrades to blast through your foes. Despite its cute appearance, Nightmarebusters is not for novices, and you'll need to bring your A-game in order to stand a chance of making it through its 6 challenging stages. While a tad repetitive at times, this SNES game is certainly worth experiencing and adding to your collection, especially if you bring a friend along for the ride. Up next is Sydney Hunter and the Caverns of Death, an adventure puzzle platformer for the Super Nintendo as well as the NES. It was released in 2016 as the result of a successful Kickstarter campaign. Armed only with your trusty boomerang, you must navigate through dark caverns and collect ancient treasures while avoiding deadly enemies and obstacles such as lava in order to win your freedom. Inspired by such retro titles as Montezuma's Revenge, the graphics and soundtrack are simple yet endearing, and the gameplay encourages you to explore, but tread carefully in order to survive through its 10 stages. Featuring an old-school password system, you'll want to keep a pen and paper handy or you'll have to start over from the beginning if you get a game over. Sydney Hunter certainly isn't a very long game, but it's surprisingly challenging and will most likely keep you busy while you unravel its mysteries and strategize to find your way off this cursed island. Our final game today is Iron Commando, a French-developed two-player beat-em-up similar to Final Fight and Streets of Rage, with a heavy emphasis on picking up and using various weapons on your foes. While this game technically saw a Japanese release in 1995, it was never brought to the US or Europe until Pico Interactive purchased the rights and released it on Steam and SNES in 2017. With great retro graphics and a rockin' soundtrack, this game is brutal and will surely challenge your mettle through city streets, on a motorcycle, through intense minecart rides, and more. The story is pretty ridiculous, involving a soldier and martial arts master teaming up to stop the evil ghost gang from capturing a radioactive meteorite. The controls are a tad clunky and weapons tend to break quickly unless you find some ammo, but Iron Commando is a total blast from the past that is sure to please any fan of traditional brawlers with its unique mechanics and varied gameplay. Forget the trip to Blockbuster and plug in with a friend for a crazy night of 90s arcade action. That's about all the time we have for in this video. I really appreciate all of you for tuning in and checking out the channel. If you like what you see and feel like sharing some love, consider leaving a like or subscribing to show your support. I will certainly try to create more gaming-focused videos, but they require a lot of time and effort, so leave a comment down below if you'd like to see more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.